Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to another episode of our Age of Empires The Rise of Moscow campaign. We're on to our third battle here in 1380, the battle at Kulikovo. And this is a battle that we hinted at last time, as we are now playing as Prince Dmitry, who is about to set out with the audacious goal of defeating the Horde in battle. Now, Moscow at this point was starting to become sort of a political leader for the Rus principalities, and Prince Dmitry was able to gather up quite a few allies to join him for this battle. And the reason why this battle came about is because at the time, the chief warlord in charge of the Golden Horde, Mamai, who we mentioned last time, who's sort of a kingmaker, propping up Puppet Khan so that he is actually in control. But he is coming under some threats from a rival Khan who is kind of seeing through his tricks of putting up puppet Khans and is resisting his rule. And that Khan in particular had the support of Timur. So during this conflict, Mamai wanted more money. So he came up to his vassals, the Rus principalities, and demanded more tribute. And Prince Dmitry basically said, we will pay what we agreed upon with the Khan many years ago. Birdie's father, actually. Who we mentioned in the last episode, and not anymore. So Mamai decided that despite having this internal threat with a competing Khan, he and his puppet Khan will raise the Golden Horde's banners and march out against Prince Dmitry for his defiance. And at the same time, there were enemies to Prince Dmitry, namely Lithuania, as well as some of the other principalities that were kind of vying for dominance with Moscow as well. And they sort of pulled together an ally army with the Golden Horde as they marched to the River Don. And in response, Prince Dmitry also rallied those principalities under his influence to meet the army. And they wanted to fight the Golden Horde before the Lithuanian army could come in from behind. So they were trying to fight pretty much the Golden Horde just with the Mongol troops and some other mercenary units that they would recruit from local regions. And this turns out to be the Battle of Kulikovo. And this is the defining battle that will give Dmitry his namesake, Dmitry of the Don, because he is the first Rus prince to ever defeat an army of the Mongols or the Tatars that is led by one of their Khans. Actually, the puppet Khan would die in this battle. It was a very drawn out battle during the entire day. It's a very bad landscape for war for the Mongolian side, because they can't really flank. It's hugged by rivers and ravines, and the Rus forces were able to actually sneak an army behind the Mongol forces and have their cavalry come flank the Mongols just as the Rus front line was about to give. It was a very close fight, but in the end, the Mongolian forces, the Golden Horde, was defeated, and legend says they retreated for about 50 kilometers and were being chased the whole way, dealing a massive amount of casualties. And the result of this is that Mamai lost his puppet Khan, and thus his political influence within the Golden Horde was shattered, and it threw all the power to his rivaling Khan, and he was eventually killed very soon after. And this was seen as sort of the first decline of the Golden Horde. But honestly, in reality, the result of this battle was that the Golden Horde was able to unite, whereas they were competing Khans before. And under this new united Golden Horde, Moscow would actually stay a vassal for quite a bit, and the new Khan would come out and raise Moscow, I believe, in 1384. So this process will continue. But this battle is often very heavily romanticized, I believe, from the Rus side, as it is their first big victory over the Golden Horde. And the legends of how many men fought in this battle goes to numbers that's just impossible. I mean, there's recordings of saying the Rus side has 1,300,000 men and dealt the Mongol forces 253,000 casualties. Like, these numbers are just outrageous, right? And I think throughout history, the number has been revised down and down and down and down to modern days, where I believe, I think Russian historians claim that the battle's probably with 6,000 to 7,000 men, on the Rus side, and that number is probably reasonable considering the population of the region, how many men he can muster up and mobilize to battle with about a 2-week notice. So we're talking about less than 10,000 men in reality, but you have all these great epic stories of hundreds of thousands of men taking place in this battle. And the way the battle goes, plays out is probably also fantasized a little bit, but it's fantasized so much that it became almost canon. I think it's pretty much agreed upon. The battle started with a duel of a champion on both sides to kind of give an omen to see who will win. And the Rus side sent out this warrior monk, I think Alexander was his name, and the result of the duel was that both of them speared each other to death, leaving the fate of the battle up in the air. And then the armies went at it, and we mentioned that the Rus side was able to come out ahead because I think Prince Dmitry had his brother-in-law take a regiment of cavalry to sneak behind the Mongolian side and was able to actually flank the Mongolians and was able to get a victory out of this battle. But it is quite a significant battle, but not in terms of Moscow gaining independence or anything like that. Moscow wouldn't become, well, there would be a period of time in the early 15th century that Moscow would gain independence as the Golden Horde had a bit of fracturing, but then they took back control, and I don't think it was until 1480 that officially, the Golden Horde is in complete decline and Moscow rises up to be an independent state. And I'm sure we'll get to see that. So let's jump into this battle and see how it plays out.
Under Grand Prince Dmitry, Moscow had grown rich and allied itself with old adversaries. Together, the Rus allies were ready to challenge the dominance of the Mongols and stopped paying them tribute. On the banks of the River Don, Dmitry would stake his life on being the first Rus leader to defeat the Horde in battle.
That was a rather quick cutscene, but technically not the first victory against the Golden Horde. There's minor victories, of course, but as I mentioned, probably the first victory against the army of the Golden Horde led by their Khan, which is quite impressive. So Prince Dmitry and his allies prepared to make a historical challenge. The Rus would take the fight to the Mongol army. It will be victory or death. And this is pretty heroic in a sense. I mean, there's tales of saying Prince Dmitry took out his princely gear and dressed up like a boyar, and then charged into battle along his men. He would survive the battle, apparently fainted out of exhaustion, and they had to dig him out of the bodies where all his escorts have all died. The story gets pretty crazy. I think it's just heavily fantasized. It's hard to know the historical details of this battle, but it's interesting nonetheless. Let's play it.
Arriving at Kulikovo, Prince Dmitry and his army would rendezvous with allied forces from all principalities loyal to Moscow. Together, they would challenge more than a century of Mongol dominance. Before the battle, Dmitry would recruit soldiers from nearby villages. He would also ride to his allies, who were awaiting their battle orders.
Okay, so we're getting men. Let's go get those men. We'll figure out what we have very soon. This one probably doesn't require any economic buildup, as we're not giving any resources pretty much.
The villagers pledged all the soldiers they could spare, strengthening Dmitry's position against the Horde.
Warrior monk, the two warrior monk that came with Dmitry, one of them being Alex, who started the battle with a duel with the Mongolian champion. Oh, that is cool. Alright, let's go to this village here, the ally here. Guess we have an ally force as well. Maybe we should actually take stock of what we have before we start. We have 32 crossbowmen. 32 man-arms, Prince Dimitri, 14 knights, 7 warrior monks? Wow. 3 scouts. Okay. No spearmen. Feels kind of bad. Considering we're fighting the Mongols. Do we actually want gold? Wasting food. Well, there's no decay. Alright, this is our allied army that we don't have to control. Good. Ah, we hunted for them, I guess. Lead Dimitri to Rus ally, and deliver battle orders.
Delivered the battle orders to his allies. They would take up position on the Smolka River fords and ready themselves for the enemy's arrival. With a loyal army assembled, Dimitri began the march north to meet the enemy in battle.
Alright, I guess fighting is starting. Position your army in the center ford of the Smolka River. Sure. I wonder if they're gonna go with like there's like this tale of this battle, like a fantasy story almost. Saying there's 6 regiments and how they position for the fight. But it seems like we're gonna cast the Mongol army as the ones arriving, even though it's the other way around. I think legend has it was really foggy. It was really foggy that day. It was a day of like the patron saint of Moscow. There's a lot of legend around the battle. Let's just say that. And they crossed the river, you know, through the fog. Alright, so we got them divided, and we're coming in with the center army. Are we supposed to fight them as they cross?
Would oversee the battle with his own detachment of fighters, moving to support any ford crossing that seemed at risk of being overwhelmed.
Oh. Okay, so we're supposed to support these battles. Should I divide out the cavalry for this case then?
As Mongol war drums sounded through the fog, Dimitri and his men steeled themselves for the arrival of the horde.
It's a wave defense. Okay. The Mongols are the ones with spearmen here. Knights flank around if we can. I got warrior monks. Attack up. Make sure we get a heal. Alright, we didn't lose any men. They seem fine. They seem fine.
The Rus were emboldened by this first small victory and stood firm on the Smolka River, ready for the enemy's next attack.
I mean, we got warrior monks to heal too, so as long as we don't micro the unit too poorly in the battle, we should be fine. Oh wow.
Civilians from the province, although unable to fight, vowed to construct defenses for Dimitri, should he need to fall back from the northern fords.
That definitely did not happen historically. There were no civilian building forts. There will be no time to build forts. Alright, so there will be like a main force. Oh, here comes the cavalry. Where we don't have any... you know, spearmen.
Villages had finished constructing a line of defenses, which Dimitri could
This one's a
back
tough one.
if he lost the fords.
Fight back them a little bit. Want to kill their cons. We lost one unit. This one's a tough fight, for sure. And this is only wave 2. Looking at numbers, we lost a knight. Charged in first. Alright. By logic, they should be attacking this one next, right? Oh, the villagers even garrison themselves. Cute. Yep. We gotta hurry. Oh, no cavalry this time. That's good. Attack those archers. Especially the cavalry. Get the knights on top of their archers. We lost a scout. Okay, that's acceptable. They're fine. They're just getting kited a little bit. And that guy's just kiting them. Alright, I'm gonna stick in the middle. I don't know if the next wave's coming in the middle or not, but at least we can respawn best from the middle.
Dmitri and his Rus allies held the fords and eliminated the Mongol vanguard. While the enemy regrouped after the initial skirmish, the prince ordered the Rus to fall back to the hilltop defenses behind them.
Well, it's smart to fight next to towers. If our allies can come back with us, it'd be even better. Oh, we got reinforcements.
Nearby Rus provinces mustered additional forces to Dmitri's side.
That's good news. Let's see what we have here. Finally, some spearmen. More man-at-arm, which is good. More knights, crossbow, and a couple more warrior monks to heal us. Alright, take up position here. Get over here. Oh, actually, just go, 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 go. This is a much easier to defend location. Not gonna lie. We lost a chest here. Do I still have a scout or are they all dead? It's possible the scouts all died already. Yes, the scouts all died.
In planning to face the horde,
We could pick up some
Dmitri
wealth.
had called upon a cavalry detachment to stage an ambush.
That's what won the battle.
He received word that his reinforcements had begun to arrive and bided his time for the right moment to call them to battle.
How do we signal? Oh, we're waiting for them to prepare. Okay. We got time. Patience, patience. Alright, knights start flanking this way. Warrior monks as well. No, no, no. Stay with the main group. This side's fine. They got spearmen's left. We don't have much allies on this side left. I don't even need to show up here.
The two great armies clashed in the fight.
Nice.
But
More
Dimitri's
defensive
men
constructors.
stood firm. With the terror of the horde on their doorstep, Rus villagers once again rushed to construct more defenses. This time on the banks of the Don River.
Maybe a couple heal them. Didn't really care about our allies for a while, but now they gotta do quite a bit of fighting for us. Spearmen heavy. Ooh, we got some interesting things. Alright, everyone here, but you guys need to flank out this way. Get on them. Doesn't matter the cost, burn down those siege weapons. Alright, now fight. There's a siege weapon on this side. Cavalry. Need you. We're fine. Our own men are not healed, but we're mostly fine. There's a couple guys who might need some help. Alright. Whoa. This is a tough one. Hold on. Hang on. No rush. We need to squeeze them through if we can. At least, okay, they're not setting up yet, so it's fine. We'll just fight. Uh-oh. We got ourselves some action over here. I'm trying not to pull reinforcements. That's proving kind of hard. Uh-oh. No, micro these guys out. Man the arms, answer. Alright, we're trying to babysit our crossbowmen a little bit. Cavalry's not completely ready. We're gonna be stubborn here. Allies are wiped. We're supposed to hold the central hill. We will hold it. No. Don't. This is bad alignment. There's a couple of guys here harassing us too hard. We can win this. It'd just be really costly. Oh, like that's okay. Too lazy to delegate that right now. The cavalry regiment is ready.
The detachment was in position and waited for Dimitri's signal to strike.
We can fall back now.
The Mongol numbers dwindled as the Rus struck down their ranks. Seeking an even stronger position, Dimitri ordered his forces to fall back to the Don River, where his allies had constructed new defenses.
Alright, I'm gonna sit here, let the warrior monks do their thing.
As the Rus fell
good.
back, a fresh detachment of reinforcements joined the fight.
Couple more warrior monk. Let's see, we had 125 at our peak. We're back to 121. Not too bad. Plus the 40 that can come in as reinforcements. Oh! This is the most welcoming sight. Here they come. From this route. See, now the battlefield is actually much wider. I wonder how efficient the AI is going to be with the... Okay, so can we flank? That's my question. Will there be units here blocking the flank? If not... Let's go. Okay, this is buying us some time, allowing us to flank. We played that one quite aggressively. We didn't even let them go. Alright, heal up. This wave is coming. This spring old.
With their backs to the River Don, the Rus held their ground in a last stand against their ferocious enemy.
Wave 9, wave 10. We're almost there.
Всей латнице готовись, живу службы ради. Служите рад, ясно. Время действовать. Сейчас.
Oh no, that didn't work. Actually, it could still work if I just drive these up. Cavalry, just stick on the archers. Wait, did we not kill him? This side's a little bit more brutal. The hotkey's a mess, I know. I keep trying to get individual groups hotkeyed, keep messing it up, but it's fine.
In the last gasps of the desperate battle, the Rus would
cavalry's
not
gonna
back
come in.
down.
Don't worry.
It would be victory or death.
Alright, you guys are all one. Wait, how do we have... Where's the other 4 units? Alright, I missed someone. Then I wanted to get the knights. Yeah, you guys can be like 4. There we go. That way I can micro you guys. Send them.
Dmitri saw his opportunity and called in the full force of his cavalry. This was his chance to ambush the unsuspecting enemy.
Throw yourself into combat. Don't let them set up. Come on. Alright, I trust the group over there. We're gonna come over here and finish this round on these siege weapons. pulling back. They're trying to reset their siege weapons. Don't let them.
For the first time in over 100 years of subjugation, the armies of the Rus defeated the Mongols in battle. For 3 days and nights, Prince Dmitri buried the fallen in the fields of Kulikovo. He became known as Donskoy, the victor at the River Don.
I think a source I read said they buried the body for like 6 days, but 3 days, 3 nights, fine, same thing. Huge amount of casualties, you could imagine. It was a tough fight. The game made it a little bit easier, to be honest. Saint Dmitri Donskov. Grand Prince Dmitri did not always have easy relations with the hierarchies of the Orthodox Church, but his great victory at Kulikovo made him a national hero, one credited even today with turning the tide in the struggle for Rus independence from the Golden Horde. Legends grew around the battle, including the story that the venerable abbot Sergi of Radaus blessed the prince and sent his 2 bravest monks into battle with Dmitri to inspire the troops and provide spiritual legitimacy to the fight. And one of them would be Alex, who was the champion, went out to fight. Still, the Russian Orthodox Church did not soon forget Dmitri's conflicts with the religious leaders of his own time. It was only in 1988, some 600 years after his great victory, that the church made Dmitri Donskov a saint, giving him religious stature to match his historical and cultural importance. And let's take a look at swords and sabers.
The might of medieval Moscow was powered by strong arms and an unbreakable fighting spirit.
Fighting with a sword and shield, eye to eye in a gritty and brutal contest, was the European way. Swords in Moscow developed along the same lines as they did in Western Europe. This is a typical sword of around 1400. It's got a broad, double-edged blade, a simple crossguard, and this heavy pommel counterbalances the blade.
They were so well balanced that these powerful medieval swords were capable of being wielded with great speed and fluidity.
By the 14th century, improvements in the manufacture of iron made it possible to fashion swords with longer blades. And swords like this, requiring 2 hands to wield, became more and more common on the battlefield.
They were called long swords, and they were used with sophisticated martial techniques.
It does have incredible and terrifying power.
But there was another influence on Moscow. Moscow traded with the East, and Moscow fought with the East. And it was from the East that Moscow adopted the saber, with its distinctively curved blade. The curve on a saber blade gives a natural slice to the cut, so cutting deeper for less effort. These exceptionally light swords were first and foremost a horseman's weapon.
As a single-strike weapon, using the speed of the horse for impact, it was one cut onto the next.
But cutting wasn't their only use.
Even with a curved blade, you can still deliver an effective thrust.
However, for all their cavalry dash, the old ways of standing firm remained part of the Muscovy way, forging a military culture that was a unique blend of West and East.
Alrighty, that was lovely. And it's this unique blend that makes the Rus quite an alien European, faction to the rest of Western Europe due to this blend of the East. That's sort of a cultural stigma that goes on till today. But it's a nice little bit about swords and sabers. So hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and we'll move on to see what the game brings us with the next one. Until then, bye!